Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 22 of the Half Brothers podcast. Uh, my name is Jacob,
My name is Glenn.
and we are, in fact, half brothers. Once again, if you don't know what that means, just Google it. It'll tell you what it means. But yeah, episode 22, got a fun one for you guys today, or I'm lying, it's not a fun one. We talked about it a little bit. It's a good one. It's a good one. But yeah, just been a lot going on. We're going to talk about a lot of it, and I've had some big things happen in my life that fortunately Glenn was able to be a part of. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But just want to let you guys know before we get into all that, if you are enjoying the podcast, definitely subscribe, definitely hit that like button. But this is actually our last episode for a little bit. We're just gonna take a little break. Take a little break. This is the end of season one. It's not the end. It's not the end. We're not done.
It's interesting because
you can't
someone
get rid
did
of us yet.
exactly. Someone did that. People were asking me. They were like, "Yeah, did you guys stop doing the podcast?" I'm like, "No, we've been doing it almost every week. We might have taken a month off. Summer got busy." And
Yeah,
they were like, "I haven't seen any social media posts." I'm like, "That's fair. You haven't because
yeah.
it's a lot of work."
It
But you know what?
is. Mhm.
Jacob and I are gonna be meeting. We're gonna be coming up with a system, a better plan for season two. But in the meantime, we're gonna be posting a lot of content and some clips and things like that while we sort of take this break in between season one and two. So we'll have a ton of content for you guys to listen to. The two smartest guys you've ever met, most handsome guys you've ever met. I mean, dude, I don't get
Are
like,
not on this podcast. So like,
yeah, right, yeah. So I mean, like, I can't think of anything better for anyone else to do than listen to two half brothers that are on a remote podcast. One's in Ohio, one's in New York City. You know what I mean? Like, what else are you guys gonna do this fall when the sun starts going down at 5 o'clock?
yeah, because like you can't watch football. You
Not if
can't
you're a Browns fan.
go on a hike and see the beautiful fall colors.
Yeah.
I really don't like this sun. How it's hitting me. But yeah, there's been a lot of exciting stuff happening in my life and on in our life. Glenn and I are going to Chicago next week. I am a fan of the George Janko podcast. Been a big fan of George for a long time. Glenn's checked out a couple episodes that I've recommended to him. And Glenn actually
I've become
knows
a fan.
he's become a bit of a fan, and Glenn knows his sister, so Glenn is gonna try to hook us up with some VIP passes or something. But we're going to Chicago, taking a little bros trip to Chicago. I've never been there. Glenn's been there. So yeah, we're gonna do that next week. It should be a lot of fun. Definitely check us out on Instagram because I'm gonna be
Mhm.
posting lots about it. I mean, probably not lots about it, but yeah, no, I'm really excited. It's gonna be a fun time. I've never been there before. I love going to places I've never been before. I love it. I love going to places I have been before that I like. Like I like going to Denver. I like going to New York.
Mhm.
I've been to Utah now, and I wouldn't say that I want to go back there like as much as I want to go back to Denver or New York, but like I have a feeling that I'll really enjoy Chicago. So I'm very excited for it. And I get PTO now.
There we go.
So I ain't losing no money.
That's right. That's right. Paid time off. What a thing to have. So that's new for
Honestly.
you,
That
Jacob.
is new for me.
What a game changer that is, man, because you can stack up your work days, take a day off, and know, hey, I'm not losing any money on this trip.
Mm-hmm. I'm
That's
actually
pretty
like
nice.
that's like it's incredibly relieving.
Wow.
Incredibly relieving. Like and even like I keep thinking about it too. I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss 2 days next week. Thinking like, oh man, my paycheck's not gonna be as good because I missed those 2 days. And then like I like remind, oh wait, no, like I'm cool. I'm still getting paid for those.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, as far as Chicago goes, I'm pretty shocked you've never been there because it's in the Midwest. It's like the New York of the Midwest,
Yeah,
and I'm really excited to show you. I think you might fall in love with it, honestly.
I have been to Chicago, but I was very young. I was in like second or first grade, so I don't
Okay,
really remember much of it at all.
gotcha. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great, and I mean, I hate the Cubs because of what they did to us in 2016, but Wrigleyville and Wrigley Stadium, beautiful place. The first night we'll be staying in Lakeview with my buddy, and that's just really cool. Very residential, homey area. I think you'll like it, but it's also got a train not too far that can take you right into downtown. And then Friday night is a surprise on where we're staying because I haven't booked anything yet, so we'll
On
figure
the
that out today.
streets.
On the streets. Ooh, the streets of Chicago. That'd be something.
Yeah,
But
what?
yeah, man, you can see the Bean. You can see Millennium Park. You can
Whoa.
see there's a lot of things, man. There's a lot of cool things in Chicago. The Bean's kind of overrated, but
I do wanna see
um,
that, though. I definitely do wanna see
but we
that.
will see it. We will
What
see
about
it. There's a
the Sears Tower? That's a thing? Isn't that the place
uh,
with the big glass, like, that you walk out?
yes, I'm
Is
pretty
that
sure
hard to get
that's.
into? Are we gonna
I
be
don't
able to do
think
that?
so. I don't think so. Let me see. Let's see. Sears Tower.
Have you done
Yeah,
that
no, I
before?
think we're good. I don't. The Sears Tower in Willis Tower in Chicago, Illinois. Oh, that thing. Wow, that looks kind of scary.
It
I've
does look
never done
scary,
that.
but
We could
I
look
want to.
into it.
Yeah, I want to do that.
We'll look into it. Oh yeah, the
Also,
Willis Tower sky deck. Wow.
I know that Chicago, deep dish pizza. That's what I know about Chicago food. Like when I think of New York, I think of pizza. I think of, street hot dogs. I think of, those bagels that we were getting when I was with you. Like I think of all this different food. But when I think of Chicago, all I really think of is deep dish pizza. You've been there before. Like, what else is there for me to be expecting? Like, do you
I
have any
mean,
spots that you're like, man, when I came here, like this place was so good, I'm gonna have to take Jacob to check this out.
the deep dish pizza is probably what it's going to be. I mean, there's
Okay.
other food for sure. Chicago has great food, just like New York. I mean, but their deep dish pizza, it's more like it's not really pizza. I don't know why it's called pizza. I guess because it's cheese crust and sauce, but it's more of like it tastes like pizza, I guess, but it's more shaped like a lasagna. Um, but it's good, and we'll definitely go to Giordano's to get some of that because it's
Okay.
pretty classic. But
Cool.
I
Cool.
mean, I don't know. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. There's some good. There's really good hot dogs in some of the. There's some really good like big hot dog places,
I
which I know
love
is
me a
not a
glizzy.
fancy thing, but they got some glizzies.
They called me the glizzy gobbler back in my day. Just kidding. They never called me that. Um, but yeah, so we're doing that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then
Yeah, I'm
just
excited, man.
recently, honestly, up to this point, about a month ago now, I was baptized. Took me 27 years of my life to finally get baptized. And it was a great day. The more I look back on it, the more like I just feel like this overwhelming sense of like joy and like I know I didn't really have to do anything, but honestly accomplishment because like when I go to collective and like, absolutely everyone should get baptized. Like if it's something you want to do, make your efforts to do it. When I go to collective and go to these retreats and everything, like they'll just baptize you. Like they don't need to know much about you. They just, you have to make your public declaration of faith and they'll baptize you. For me, I had to go through about 4 meetings with the youth pastor. Not, I don't even know if he's necessarily considered the youth pastor. He's like the youth pastor. Like he runs like the Sunday school programs for the kids, but he also handles baptisms. Like, so we had to go through about 4 meetings. They were all very early in the morning before I had to go to work. And he would, they kind of give you this little packet and, you go through certain scriptures, write down your thoughts about scriptures, kind of tell them why you want to get baptized, what Jesus has done for you, all these things. So I had to go through about 4 meetings, did those, finish those in May. Start of May is when, or no, end of May is when I finished those because we had our final one when I got back from my trip to Utah. And then yeah, didn't get baptized till August because they, this summertime, pastors were taking trips. They had to plan special services so that other pastors could lead. And things of that nature. So once a year, my church does this big like picnic service. They typically do 2 service times, one a bit earlier in the morning, one a little later in the morning, and then this time of year for the picnic, they do this once a year. They only do 1 service. So the entire church congregation is there for this 1 service, and that's when they handle a lot of their baptisms. The service is mainly focused around the importance of baptism. I think what they did 8 baptisms that day, the day that I got baptized. Um, and honestly, like I wish I had done some sort of public speaking at some point in my life, because the entire time that is all I could think about was having to talk in front of 400 people. I didn't even have to say a lot. I even planned to not say a lot because I was so nervous. But that was all I was thinking about the entire time up until I got done was, man, I gotta talk in front of 400 people. What if I start, messing up my words? What if I start stuttering? What if I, can't figure out how to finish something off? Because I'm not taking my phone up there to just read it off my phone and be like, oh, I finish it off pretty good on my phone. But like, I'm not taking my phone up there and being that guy. Like, I was so very nervous for that part that I didn't get to really like take it all in the moment and experience it. So then seeing some of the pictures, seeing, what my pastor sent you and everything, like it was an awesome moment. And it was like I didn't like I always like when they gave me the option of like picking somebody to be able to do it, and I haven't told you guys this. I haven't even said this yet, but Glenn was actually the person that baptized me. So for those of you who don't know, Glenn has sort of been, the person in my life most pushing me towards faith, most, kind of encouraging me to live a Christian lifestyle. Basically my entire life. Like I was telling, we had dinner this past week, me and my pastor, and I was telling him like, yeah, I had realized I never told him the story, but I was like, yeah. So like when I started going to youth group as a kid, it was because Glenn like tricked me into going. Like we went and hung out with some of my friends that I played soccer with, who also went to his youth group, and then we were like we went out to eat. We were hanging out at their house afterwards, and they started saying like, "Oh, what songs are we gonna do at youth group tonight?" I'm like, "What are we talking about?" I didn't drive at this time, so
Yeah.
Glenn picked me up from my house, took me over there, and then goes, "Yeah, what songs we're gonna do for youth group tonight, guys?" I'm like, "Well, what do we mean? We're going to youth group?" He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take you home after youth group." Okay, cool. I don't really have a choice now. Gotta go. So I go, and it's a great time. They invite, I know quite a few people there, so they all invite me to come back next week. I go next week. I keep going. I keep going. I keep going. Oh, 2 weeks later, there's a retreat coming up. Hey, you should really come to this retreat. All right, cool. I'll come to this retreat. It was a great time. And then I just started going every week. And honestly, that was like one of the like funnest years of my life was that first year in youth group, or like first year and a half in youth group. Just the camps that we are going to. I remember going to Camp Fitch and, going through the
Yeah.
blizzard and like literally like couldn't like Jalen's walking 5 feet in front of me and I couldn't see him because of how bad it was snowing. Never experienced anything like that in my life. So yeah, there's just a ton of awesome memories from youth group, and it all started because Glenn tricked me into going. But yes, like he's always been, one of those people. He has always been the person to kind of push me to faith, to kind of steer me towards the cross. So I felt like it had to be him. When I had the option to get baptized, like when they gave me the option to get baptized by somebody, I was like, it has to be him. So Glenn actually had to have a meeting with my pastor because they had to make sure that, he's not a degenerate. They had to put their stamp of approval on him. And luckily, somehow he passed the test. But yeah, so Glenn actually got to be the one to baptize me, and just like looking at the pictures, thinking about it, I'm like, man, that was such a special thing that we got to do. And I'm really glad that you got to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's really cool to hear. First off, I'm honored to be a part of it. I love you, man. I'm proud of you. So happy for you, and really glad I got to be a part of that. And it was a really special moment for me. And your pastor sent me a picture that I'm going to get framed to put on my desk of me hugging you in the pool right after I almost dropped you. By the way, because the water was a little lower than I expected. So, and then the way we ended up getting in the pool was not how we practiced because I have a bad hip on my right side. So we went in a different way than we practice as if you're going to be on my left side.
Yeah.
We went in, you're on my right side, which was better for the camera angle because my tattoo got in the picture, which I love. Um, but but when I dunked you, my hip kind of buckled for a minute because it went so low, and I think you had to do a pull up on my
Oh
arm, didn't
yeah.
you?
Oh yeah.
You did a little bit of a
Yeah.
pull up on my arm.
Like
So
on my way up, I was like, man, I don't really feel like he's pulling me. I gotta get myself back up.
yeah, yeah. So that could have been if I would have just fell in with you, that'd have been
That would've been
crazy,
so
man.
funny.
It was the
Before it
first.
happened, my pastor came up to us and was like, "All right, so this is what you're gonna do. Jake's gonna be like this." And Glenn goes, "Yeah, we've been practicing." He goes, "Oh, you've been practicing?" He goes, "Yeah, Jacob, come here, let's show him." So we show him, and we practice like on the side that Glenn is more comfortable doing, and then we get up there, and it's the exact opposite thing. And like honestly, when we got into that pool and it was on the opposite side, I was like, "Oh no, this isn't what we trained for."
It's not. I think yeah, we were all confused. We were like, wait a second, wrong formation, delay a game.
Delay game.
But yeah, it really was a beautiful moment, man. And I just want to say, for the public speaking thing, you kind of crushed it on the mic. I mean, Jacob got a really big laugh out the gate. And I was like, okay, I guess he's a stand-up comedian now. And it was really good. And like you didn't once you said that, and I don't even know if you were trying to be funny or if you were just like nervous that you just said it in a way that was like kind of sarcastic but fun. But like he was like, why, what has Jesus done for you? And you were like, besides dying for my sins and giving me eternal life, you mean? Well. and then everyone laughed, and I was like, "That's killer." He didn't even practice that one. I was like, "That was great." Um, so you did a great job speaking, and then you talked about how, the Lord really eased your anxiety and, like, gave you new life and new purpose and everything. So I thought you did a really good job speaking, in front of that crowd. You didn't seem to I think after that laugh, tell me this, after that laugh, did it give you a little bit of comfort?
Well, I mean, I remember asking everybody, I was like, "Man, I kinda felt like that was funny," but I didn't hear anybody laugh.
Oh, you blacked out then. Everyone
Yeah,
laughed.
I didn't hear anybody laugh.
You were so yeah, okay, that happens sometimes too. You just kinda black out up there because of the nerves, and yeah, everyone laughed. It was so funny.
Yeah, I was very nervous.
But yeah, man, it was a beautiful moment. And, talking about youth group, it's interesting because now I'm leading youth groups at a
Yeah.
church. We just had our first week. We had high school youth group on Monday and middle school on Thursday. And it's they've never done it like this at this church. And so I'm kind of trying to, but it was a really good time and I got really good feedback. And I was just thinking about, youth group days, Pastor Dan and everything at back in Akron. And I was like, man, Dan put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
Like, a lot goes into this. We would just show up and think it's pretty simple and like, but a lot goes into this, and I'm learning now. And it's like, we had something really special that year for sure in our youth group, and it was so much fun and all that. And I'm trying to replicate that in some way, but it's obviously going to look different at a church in Brooklyn. But it is really cool to see like everything I learned there now as a 29-year-old, almost 30-year-old man. I am now taking something that changed my life and trying to, you know, reinstitute it in another way, like for a new generation. And we have a ton of adult volunteers too that are helping too, right? Like they don't even work at the church; they're full time in other jobs, but they're serving. They're just giving an hour a week to come and hang out with the kids and hang out. So yeah, man. So it's really cool to hear the story about tricking you into youth group, and I hope that some of our students will trick their friends into youth group. And that who knows? It's kind of crazy, but yeah, man. I love you, brother. I'm happy for you, and this is just the beginning, right? So baptism is it's a big step, and it's just the beginning. I'll just remind you, hard times to come, good times to come. Stay steadfast in the love of God, and but this is a big moment, and I love your hat.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank. It says faith over fear on the front.
Exactly. I need to get one of those. Those were sick.
Yeah.
And so with that, you know, anything else this summer happened that was fun? Like this is kind of a summer recap we talked about. I mean, I've done some things, you've done some things. Anything big though over the summer that we haven't had a chance to talk about since it's been a minute?
I don't know that it's necessarily anything big. Not this is definitely not big, but you asked me about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. Me and Glenn also went golfing that day with a couple of Glenn's buddies, and I shot my best
Mm.
score I have ever shot on 9 holes. The very next weekend, me and my buddy go play 18, shot a 98. They say so
Wait,
I shot a 98 on 18. So I shot a 48 on the front, a 50 on the
no,
back. Yeah. They
no, you
say,
didn't.
I swear, they
You did
s-
not break 100.
I broke 100 and they say that the average golfer never breaks 100.
Jacob,
I've been golfing for barely a year. Hasn't even been a year. I started golfing last October. Hasn't even been a
how did
year.
you break? How many mulligans did you get?
I only took two
Wow.
both off the tee box.
Okay.
First hole of the day I shot a 7, didn't take a single one. And then it was like later on in the day, I don't know what, I think I just turned my hips a little too early on the drive and it
Hmm.
just shot straight up and went to the left a little bit, which is usually the exact opposite of the problem that I have.
Sure.
Usually I'm slicing right real bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
No,
honestly, what's helped me out a ton, my chipper is very good. So if I can get into range where I use my chipper, I'm golden. Um, but my drive is usually the problem. Usually I slice my drive so bad that I have to take 12 shots to be able to get it close to the green. So I started just slowing down my backswing and my drive's
mhm.
been going pretty straight. Like I haven't like usually I'm trying to go faster at backswing and then, smash the ball. And now I'm going slow through my backswing, still trying to smash the ball, but for whatever reason, like I'm hitting it straight now. And then I
Where
hit
did
it
you play?
Where we always play. I can't remember the name of the course. Spring Hill, I think, is what it's called.
Okay. All right.
It's not
Hold
Pine
on.
Valley.
All right, hold on.
Who are you calling?
Can you hear that?
No. No way you're calling the golf course.
Hold on. Ah, I wanted
Yeah.
to see if he would count your 98 with 2 mulligans and not 1. Oh wait, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. All right, let's see. All right, Badalucco, careful what you say because you're live on the Half Brothers podcast. Question for you.
What's up?
Jacob shot a 98
Mm-hmm.
in how many holes, Jacob?
18.
In 18 holes with
Mhm.
2 mulligans. Is that a 98 or not?
I mean, if you're just playing with your friends, yeah. But if you're keeping the official score down,
Yeah.
Wait, but if what?
I said if you're playing with your friends, sure. But if you're keeping legit score, no.
All
Nah, it's a
right.
98. It's a
All
98.
right.
It's a
Well, thank you
98.
so much,
It's a
Brandon.
98.
I love you. I'll call you back later, buddy. All right. He said sorry. That's funny. That's funny. You got to clip that one.
It's a
Yeah, no,
98.
I know. I just wanted to give
And
you
any
that.
of you who disagree, let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Yeah, so that's I mean, even with 2 mulligans, like I don't think I've never gotten that with 2 mulligans. And I've definitely taken 2 mulligans before and had like a 110. So like it would have been worse, you know? So that is impressive. You've been playing a lot this summer though.
Oh, a lot.
How many
So the course,
total would you say you've played this year? How many games?
I mean, I can tell you. The
Oh,
course
it's on the app.
yeah. And so I've also played a number of rounds where we scramble and I don't log them on the app. Actually, so it only says I've played 8, and I've probably played about 16 rounds this summer because I've also played another 8 of like scrambling. So like, or actually, I've probably played more than that. And I never count them on this when we scramble. Let's see what. Yeah, definitely more than 8. $18. Played
Okay.
18
Dang.
times this year.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. And
Well,
the
that's a
course
big
that we go
thing.
to a lot, like the one that I shot the 98 at, they have a membership where it's like $300 and all you have to do is pay cart fees when you go. It's like you're golfing for free, whether it's 9 or 18, and you just pay cart fees. So I'm gonna get that next year just because I've gone there so many times that it's about to the point where I would have made, like I would be making essentially like the membership would have paid for itself. So definitely gonna buy that next year because yeah, I really enjoy the sport, and
There you go.
it has taught me that I do think I have a little bit of OCD because as soon as I started golfing, I really kind of started obsessing over it. I spent $150 on some used clubs on Amazon Marketplace, and since those used clubs, I have spent 90, 90, 90, 30. So 180, 270, $300 on 4 clubs.
Well, I hope you have money for Chicago next week.
I get paid
No,
next week,
that's
so I should be all right.
amazing. There we go. We still got to book a hotel for the night. But anyway, we'll talk about that after. No, that's great. That's great, man. I mean, I need to play more golf, and it's kind of hard to when I don't have my car out here. So
Yeah, and you can't play
hopefully,
on concrete and asphalt and stuff. Like, where do you? That is a question that I had. Like, do you have to go upstate to play
no, there's golf courses in Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn?
Yeah, deeper. Brooklyn's huge, man.
Okay.
Brooklyn's bigger than Manhattan. So like there's a golf course deep in Brooklyn. There's there's courses in Queens and in the Bronx.
So, like, when you get around like these golf course areas, does it become like less like like city?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean that's
like
a
a little
crazy
more like
thing.
suburb.
I wouldn't say suburb. It's all they're like the houses are still next to each other, right?
Okay.
Like they still don't have huge backyards, but
Okay.
they're houses. Like if you look up, like if you just look up like Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, or like what's it? Like Bensonhurst, or just anywhere deeper in Brooklyn. I'll have to show you on a map, but anywhere deeper in Brooklyn that's further away from Manhattan is going to be more homey, kind of like it might feel a little more like a regular city, like just like smaller town vibe.
Mm-hmm.
but in Brooklyn. But there's less people, there's less traffic, it's way more. So I guess maybe it can feel a little suburban, but it's still urban because of how many people live there and how the houses are still so close to each other,
I mean,
right?
even where you live, I didn't feel like there was a ton of traffic. Like, not as much as, like, when we would go into Manhattan, like, into
Right.
the actual city, like
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I do live on a quiet road, kind of. But yeah, man. Speaking of cities, another big thing, real quick, that I just want to talk about because I'm still kind of traumatized and processing. I was in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago,
yeah.
and me and a few friends went out to lunch. I got to see one of my childhood friends that I haven't seen in like 10 years, right? So we met up with her, and then my buddy Luke and his girlfriend, and the four of us are having lunch. We have a good time. I haven't seen this my friend in 10 years, so I'm already like freaking out. It's kind of crazy. It doesn't feel real, right? This person from Akron is now here in LA, and we're getting to talk. We went to elementary school together. Okay, she leaves, right? And I'm like, what a great day. This is so cool. My best friend from today got to meet one of my childhood friends from, Akron. And as we paid the tab, we're getting ready to leave. I'm like, let me go grab a box for my food. I go into the restaurant, I grab a box, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta pee real quick. So I'm gonna go use the restroom. I go into the restroom. It's a single person restroom. Okay. There's a urinal option and then there's a toilet option, right? I just need to pee as a man. I'm going to stay standing for that one, right? So we go urinal option number one. All right. So here I am, using the urinal, standing up, peeing as a man does. And all of a sudden, a trash can lunges at me, hits me in the leg, and falls on the ground and makes a huge, like, loud noise because it's a metal trash can. Now I'm midstream when this is happening, right?
Can't cut
And
it
I get
off
hit. I
midstream.
get hit in the leg, and then I feel the ground shake, and I look back, and the wall's caving in. I might have got a little pee on the wall, but the wall's caving in, and I'm like freaking out. So I hurry up, I pull it up, and then I run out, freaking out. And the manager's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know what just happened." So in my mind, I'm in the bathroom. All this happened. I'm thinking a couple things: either an earthquake, a bomb, or Putin finally did it and he nuked us, and it's the end of the world as we know it.
And all
Turns
that
out,
happened was that bathroom. Yep.
turns out, well, when I was in the restroom and it first started happening, I didn't know. I meant in that moment, not when I got out. When I got out, I realized that's not a nuclear weapon.
Okay. Turns out.
Turns out some guy was a DoorDash driver, was pulling into the parking lot and hit his brakes, and the brakes snapped, and he drove right into the bathroom.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, insane. So I was peeing, and a car drove into the bathroom that I was peeing in. And thankfully, the brakes slowed him down just enough that he only got through a little bit, but he busted in that wall like the Kool-Aid man. It was insane. It was insane. And
That
I'm
is crazy.
literally exposed, urinating, and yeah, I mean, did you see it on my story? I put the
saw
picture
your
on my
story,
story.
but like you didn't explain, like you didn't take a video or explain anything. So
No,
I'm
because
like, what?
I was
I had no
traumatized.
idea what happened.
That's what happened.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Think about peeing, and now you have to worry about a car driving into your bathroom.
So at my new job, I got a new job for those of you who don't know. It's facility solutions. So essentially, if
I
Dunkin'
almost died, and Jacob's moving on so fast.
it's relating. If Dunkin' Donuts, has like a clogged toilet or a fryer goes out, or they need anything done, they put in a work order to us. We get somebody out there to go fix it. In my interview with HR, because HR does the interviews. In my interview with HR, she was telling me, I was like, yeah, can you just tell me a bit more about the day-to-day of the position? She's like, well, I don't really know, but like, you'd be surprised how often a car drives through the front of a business.
That's insane, dude.
And I was like, I've only heard of this happening one time in my entire life. And you're telling me I'd be surprised how often it happens. Like, it happens a lot. So from these people, it does sound like it happens a lot. I've only been there for a week, so I don't exactly know how often it happens. And now it just happened to you. I feel like I'm going to be dealing with this stuff all the time.
Dude, what the heck? How are people missing their parking spots so hard that they go into a building?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. We were
It's
talking about it too. We were like, because they were telling me a story about one car ended up like in the dining room of a Dunkin' Donuts, like all the way in, didn't just like hit the door, like ended up the whole car was inside of the building. And they were like, well, how does that happen? And they're like, it's probably just one of those moments where like they realize they aren't slowing down enough and they go to hit the brakes. And like Rob Deerdeck had on Ridiculousness, he had like a
God.
snippet about this one time. I can't remember what they called it. But it's like essentially like you're going to slam on the brakes and you just forget to change your foot over and you just smash the gas, which I have done this before. So like I know that it is something that happens. It was
Yeah.
when I was 15. I first got my temps. Literally just got my temps and did this. Put my
Yeah.
mom's car up a telephone pole, and I've never happened again. I am the world's best and safest driver because that one experience when I first got my temps. I've been pulled over one time in my 11 years of driving.
Nice.
I'm the world's
Heck
best
yeah.
and safest driver because of that one moment. Because of that, in that one moment, I went to slam on the brakes and I slammed on the gas. And I guess that's
Yeah.
probably just what happens a lot of time. And except maybe not in this case where the guy's brakes just went out, which is crazy. Like, how does that just happen? That makes me not even want to drive
Because
that
he probably
car.
wasn't he probably wasn't maintaining the car well. I
That's
mean, the
true.
car did not look great.
Okay.
And if you're a DoorDash driver or a taxi driver or Uber, whatever, you should be getting your brakes looked at every single month. You are putting so many miles on these cars.
Yeah.
Like you're constantly you're driving 8 to 10 hours a day. You need to be checking your brakes every single month because those things can wear out fast when you're putting that kind of mileage on it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, yeah, it's just like I mean, when my dad was working for the taxi company in Akron, they had to check those brakes every week, you know? So if you're doing that, like that's how it works. You
Yeah.
have to look at those brakes. You have to look at those brakes. So anyway, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm good, but boy, was that crazy. A new fear unlocked. Car driving into a bathroom.
Quinn's gonna be traumatized every time he uses the
I
restroom now.
I don't know that I can pee in without freaking out. So
That's crazy.
anyway, yeah, but I will say it did make me love Los Angeles even more. So either I got to get rich and figure out a way to be by the coastal, or New York's got to figure out a way to keep me here.
That
Cause
made you love it more?
mm,
Somebody
well, I
trying to
guess
kill you while you're using the restroom made you love it more. Crazy.
it wasn't necessarily that, but just LA in general.
You're like, man, this doesn't happen in New York.
It's crazy because it does. So here's the thing too. I've lived in New York City now for three years. Crazy things happen here every single day, but never to me. I've been to LA 3 times. Something crazy has happened each time I've gone to LA. The first time we ran from gunshots.
Yeah.
We ran from gunshots in Hollywood. The second time we watched a guy like hit a car and like a weird hit and run when we were walking, like just randomly one day. And then the third time this happened. So I love LA, but God's saying not yet. He's not saying never. He's just saying not right now. And here's a
Ben's waiting
couple
for the one
reminders.
time he goes to visit and there's like a peaceful time and not that exciting. He's like, all right, now it's time. Now's
Yeah,
the time.
now it's time. Now it's time. But it's beautiful, man. The mountain. I do think you would love LA
I think
as
I would
well
love LA.
because the mountains,
The
just like
beach, like,
the beach. Now the traffic absolutely sucks, but we like driving. We like having cars because we're Midwesterners, so
yeah.
we can deal with a long car ride. And but it still does suck. But
Yeah.
we got to go next time. You know, maybe sometime next spring or summer, dude. You can come out with me.
I mean, I got PTO now, so like,
Yeah. So
I
save
ain't gonna
up
be
and let's
losing
do it.
money.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, I love LA. We'll go out sometime and it'll be great. But anything else big happened this summer for you? Anything else on your mind, on your heart before we kind of transition into talking about some recent events?
Nothing big this summer, but I do have something on my mind. Go Pack Go, baby. We're winning the Super Bowl. We got Micah Parsons. Jay Love looks like he's lighting the world on fire. Almost threw for 300 yards this week. This is the most optimistic I have been about a Green Bay Packers season in very long. And as I said, me and Glenn are going to Chicago. We are coming back on a Saturday. Well, we're going back to our respective places of living. He's going back to New York. I'm coming back to Ohio. And the Green Bay Packers are also coming to Ohio to play the Cleveland Browns, and it'll be my first time ever getting to see the Green Bay Packers play a football game. And I am so
Really?
excited. Yeah, first time.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So they're playing. So they play the NFC North the AFC North this year. So they're playing in Cleveland and in Pittsburgh, and I'm gonna go to both games.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm very, very excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet, man.
yeah.
Wow.
Can you hear her?
A little bit.
That's hilarious. All right, Kez, relax. What are you looking up?
What's up?
What are you looking up?
I'm not looking up anything.
Oh,
I was sending an email back.
oh, nice. All right,
I just
Kez.
said yes, thank you. All right, well, the Browns broke my heart again, but Flacco looked damn near perfect.
I'm
And
gonna
if
get
the
out of here.
receivers could catch a ball and the kicker could kick a ball, then
Go.
we would be okay.
Go.
Jacob's gone. I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I fell asleep during the game, so I don't know what happened. I know that they missed a kick at the end, or an extra point.
Yeah. He missed both. I mean, we just can't find a kicker, man. I just
It's the
didn't
Phil Dawson
realize.
curse, bro. They let him go because they didn't want him to be the all-time point scorer, and now they're cursed.
Who didn't want him to be the all-time point scorer?
The organization.
Because he's a kicker?
Yeah.
That's so annoying. I didn't know. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's why they let him go. They didn't want him to be the all-time leading scorer.
Well, hopefully next time we have a pod, the Browns will be in a much better place, and I'm sure the Packers will because Jordan Love was cooking, and I'm going to start him on my fantasy team from now on.
Oh, he's one of your 4 quarterbacks?
He's one of my 4 quarterbacks, yeah. Well, I don't know if in our league. I have him in my other league, though. But,
So
yeah.
in our fantasy league, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Glenn is in my fantasy league. Glenn, for whatever reason,
Jacob rigged the draft.
Glenn wasn't able to get in for the draft. Glenn has been in the league. I reactivated the league. So I didn't make a new league. I didn't send out invites. I sent out invites to the new people joining, but I didn't make a new league or anything along those lines. I just reactivated it. Glenn doesn't check to make sure that it's in his fantasy app until I text him and say, yo, we're drafting, because I see that he's on auto draft, and then he checks to see if he's in, and he's not in. And I can't get out of the draft and invite him or do whatever I got to do to make sure he's in. So he just auto drafts. Auto draft takes 4 quarterbacks for him. 4. You only need 1. A lot of times I don't even draft a backup because I'm the week that my quarterback is on a bye, I'll just drop my worst player and pick up a quarterback. I don't need another one on my bench. And it takes 4 quarterbacks for him. The one time in the history that I have auto drafted was for my old work in their league a couple years ago, and I won with an auto drafted team. And Glenn's auto draft takes 4 quarterbacks for him. And this is where it gets hilarious. My one buddy, who is the biggest football fan out of all of my friends, he coaches high school football. I think he's the quarterback's coach or the OC or something. He is a football diehard, loves football, eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Got the worst rated draft, and Glenn got the best. With an auto draft and taking 4 quarterbacks, Glenn got the best rated draft. My buddy, who's a diehard football fan, got the worst rated draft. Poetic.
Poetic justice.
But your team actually is pretty good. You won last week.
And who's 1-0?
Me.
And who else?
You.
That's right.
Who put up 150 points last week and is currently at the top of the leaderboard?
I don't know because I haven't looked.
Me. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this fantasy season. I'm just feeling good about football, man. Fantasy football is looking good for me. Green Bay Packer football is looking good for me. I'm not a Browns fan. I still root for him. Although, like I said in the last podcast, there's been so much slander on my boy A-Rod that I'm kind of a Steelers fan this year.
He did look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
He did. But you know who also looked pretty good? And then we'll transition.
Joe Flacco.
Justin
looked
Fields.
really good. Yes.
I couldn't believe that. I could not believe that.
I think he's gonna have a good year.
Good.
I'm excited for Justin Fields.
One
I
of
always
those New
thought
York teams needs to be good.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to see Jackson Dart get up in the starting spot and for the Giants eventually because
more Jets or Giants fans.
I don't know. I mean, probably split down the middle, honestly. But
really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, I know more Giants fans, but the city's got a lot. I mean, you see a lot of both
Okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
So, well, with that, um, Jacob, are you still there? Did I just lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay, there you are. You froze for a second. With that, I'll just transition a little bit. Some sad stuff has happened this week, and I just want to start by saying, there's a lot of people mourning. There are families mourning, people hurting with all the violence that's kind of taken place over the last few weeks, and you see it on the internet. Um, there were a few school shootings where innocent children were murdered. There was the Charlie Kirk shooting. There was a woman stabbed on a train in Charlotte. There's just like so much violence and things happening right now that I know I have a heavy heart for it. I'm even a little paranoid right now, to be honest with you, after seeing some of the footage of some of these things. To walk outside, to be around people, it's giving me sort of an anxiety and a heavy heart. And so, I just wanted I want Jacob to give some thoughts because I know it's been on Jacob's heart and mind too. But I just want to start by saying that, God is with the mourning, God is with the brokenhearted, and I'm praying for those that are hurting right now, that God's comfort and healing will be given to you. And also, I just want to say that no matter what you think or believe, violence is never the answer to anything. Yeah, so there's really no justification for any of these things that have taken place, and I'll just go with saying that across the board, there's no justification for any of these things, and I want to make it clear that that's where we stand. But Jacob, I'm gonna let you start because I'm kind of having trouble formulating words right now. Yeah, it's been a tough week. So I'm gonna let Jacob go.
Um, yeah, honestly, like it has been a bit of a crazy week. Um, so I honestly I choose to not engage with a lot of that type of stuff. I don't follow political accounts on Instagram. I knew who Charlie Kirk was. I've seen a lot of his stuff. Main things that I've seen of his have been on a lot of the Christian influencers that I watch. He's been on George's show a couple of times. George has been on his show, and as we talked about earlier in the podcast, I'm a big George fan. So I've seen a lot of him on those people's stuff. I haven't seen a lot of his actual content. Um, and I really just choose not to engage with that stuff just because people get so divisive and argumentative when it comes to politics, which is mainly what Charlie Kirk talked about. Like, sure, he was a Christian, and he was big into talking about his faith, but for the most part, he was more of like a political guy talking about world politics. Um, but yeah, it was really, I didn't see the stuff about the school shootings. I didn't actually know about those until you told me about them. I didn't see the stuff about the stabbing until I saw the thing about Charlie Kirk. So I didn't even see the thing about Charlie Kirk until people at work started talking to me about it. And it was one of those instances where, I mean, we all know our phones are actually listening to us. Like, we say this and it sounds like it's a paranoid thing or people are being skeptical, but it's a real thing. Like, your phone is microphone, it is on, it is listening to you, and it feeds you things you're talking about. I didn't start talking about wanting golf clubs. I have a conversation with my old boss at the time about, hey, maybe I want to get into golf. And then I start getting ads for golf clubs on my Instagram. I never looked up golf. I never did anything with golf on my phone, and I say this thing one time and I finally start getting ads for golf clubs. So your phone is listening to you. It's going to feed you this stuff. And I didn't see the thing about Charlie Kirk until somebody at work started talking to me about it. And then I started getting that stuff on my feed. And then because I interacted with one post about it, I started getting more stuff along those lines on my feed. So I knew about the one school shooting. I knew about the stabbing on the train because I engaged with that one Charlie Kirk post and it started feeding me those other ones. Um, it's honestly kind of just like mind-boggling and mind-blowing that there has been this much in a week, in a
Mhm.
week's time. Like, it is absurd. Um, and there's a lot of people out there that are talking about this stuff being divisive and whatnot. Um, I think if anybody is mourning in any way about anything, um, the correct response, and I'm going to choose that word intentionally, the correct response is to meet them with love and peace. It is not to say, "Oh, you're going to mourn about this thing. You should be mourning about this thing." That is not the correct response, especially with when it comes to something like death. Um, the correct response is never, "Oh, suck it up. Oh, you didn't cry about this thing. Why are you crying about this thing?" The correct response is peace and love. If somebody the loss of a life, like, you're never gonna until you experience what it's like to really lose someone close to you, which, we've both experienced what that's like. You don't really understand the true magnitude of, like, losing somebody, and, like, the thing that I think about with, a lot of this stuff, is just, like the people around them and like what they have to be going through. Like, I don't know too much about the woman that got stabbed on the train. I believe she was a refugee from Ukraine. I don't know if she, was married. I don't know if she had children, anything along those lines. And then like school shootings, like those are people's children that are losing their lives in those things. And the Charlie Kirk thing, like that's someone's child. That's someone's dad. That's someone's husband. And like I saw this thing and it absolutely broke my heart that, like, when he got shot, his daughter ran to him because she heard the loud noise and got scared, and she wanted her dad to come for her. Like, not even knowing that that was, what had happened. And honestly, like, the thing that got me the most choked up about it, was I would constantly was seeing on my feed, like, people posting, like, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And it was just like, man, like, I think that's, like, what we all strive as Christians, that's what we all strive for, we don't wanna, um, be too scared to talk about our beliefs or to be able to spread the gospel or to, um, encourage our other Christian brothers and sisters to live a more Christian life. We never want to be scared to do that or to shy away from do that. And that's definitely something Charlie wasn't scared to do. Do I agree with everything he said about the political world and things going on in the world? No, not necessarily. But he was I do in my heart believe that he was a Christian man, that he believed the gospel, that he believed that Jesus Christ died and rose again and saved him from his sins. And I do believe that he wasn't shy about expressing that. Like if people asked him, like Jordan, people ask Jordan Peterson, and Jordan Peterson kind of tiptoes around it. I do think Jordan Peterson is a Christian, but the fact that he tiptoes around it kind of makes me think like, like I do wonder like what happens for Jordan Peterson when he gets there. I don't wonder about that, like with Charlie Kirk, because like he was so unashamed. Like if people would ask him, he would tell them straight up, like, yeah, this is what I believe. Um, but yeah, that was probably like what hit me the most. Honestly, like in a very selfish way too, because it was like seeing all the people post like, well done, my good and faithful servant. I was like, man, like I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm not doing enough to spread the gospel. Like, and like we talked about this a little bit when I got this new position. I was like, yeah, like I don't have a job as like a pastor or anything. Like, I'm not actively doing anything to spread the gospel and to let people know that they're forgiven for their sins. But and you gave me the encouragement of like, you don't necessarily have to. Like, you can do it by the example that you lead. And I think that's kind of the pattern of, like, growth that I've been learning more and more. It's something me and my pastor talk about is, like, it doesn't have to be with your words. It's mainly through your actions. It's how you live your life. It's how you carry yourself. It's how you, how you work at work. Am I gonna be that guy that just sits on my phone all day and steals money from the company? Or am I gonna be that guy that's constantly trying to do more? It's constant, showing up early, constantly, actually doing his job. Like, which one am I gonna be? Which one would be a more of a representation of Christ? Which one do I think he would want me to be? He want me to be the guy that shows up early, that's, focused when he's there and stays locked in
Mhm.
and does his job, who's a good employee, who doesn't, talk back to his bosses, who takes criticism well. Like that's what he would want me to be. And that's something I've been focusing more and more on in this season of my life is just trying to be a better example and not necessarily be so preachy. But yeah, definitely when it happened, I felt like, I'm not doing enough. Um, and so like maybe what I did take it a bit more personally than I should have, especially in such a tragic and traumatic thing. But honestly, I think another thing, and I think that maybe why this is so divisive, and I think maybe why the Charlie thing and specifically is affecting people maybe more than the other things is just because like I actually saw a video of it happen, and like that
Right.
should not be a thing. Like the fact that that was able to circulate on Instagram and I was able to view that, that should absolutely not be a thing. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a thing because like on like a global peace level, I'm saying like what is Instagram doing to the fact that those types of videos weren't taken down immediately, like immediately. Like I've left comments on sports posts talking crap to people and Instagram will flag my comment right away and be like, now we're deleting this.
Yeah.
But I saw videos that had been up, like I checked the timestamps on them that had been up for hours, and like someone sent it to me, and I'm still able to view this. What are we doing? Why is this? Why are we allowing this to happen? And then another thing is like I've talked with a couple buddies and people about it because there was like a lot of my friends have wives and everything, and they like to watch murder documentaries, serious crime stuff, and there was something that I wanna say happened in, like, Utah in a college where some guy just broke into this house and like, stabbed, like, 4 girls or something like that. Maybe you've heard of it. Um, but they made, like, a whole documentary about it on Amazon, like a 4-episode documentary. And I'm like, "I understand this stuff gets views, but, like, we're doing the exact opposite of what we should be doing in these situations." Like, if you're gonna make if you're gonna make a documentary to shed light on this situation, like, I think we gotta stop using people's names. I think we gotta stop using people's names. I think we gotta stop, putting them in the national limelight. Like we got just make up a fake name. Make up a fake name and disclaim it like this is not so and so's actual name. We are using this name because we don't want to glorify, their actions. Boom, perfect. Laid it out. Stop using people's names. I shouldn't be able to get on Netflix right now and go watch a movie with Zac Efron about Ted Bundy. I shouldn't be able to do it. It's the
Mhm.
exact opposite of what we should be doing in these types of situations, and I think that in my like, in my heart, I feel a little bit like, hopeless in a way that, like, it seems like, things are taking a turn for the worst in society and in the world, but, like, the fact that I feel that way, I'm like also like kind of plays this trick on my mind where like maybe this is how it's supposed to go. Like maybe I'm supposed to feel this way because it's actually going to be the opposite thing. Like we're actually going to experience like this huge shift in culture, and like there has been this shift in culture. Like more and more people are going to church. Like I mean I have we've had plenty of conversations and almost arguments about going to church, and I've been going to church consistently for the last year. Like I honestly love going to church. And like I love going to church so much that I started going to church multiple nights a week now. So like maybe we'll get more of that. We'll get more of the revival of people going to church and looking for something more because they're very clearly not finding it out in the world. Like the world is not becoming the peaceful and safe and just wonderful place that people want it to be. So, maybe out of all of this, I guess the best thing that could happen is just more people turn back to the church and back to the cross.
Yeah. No, that's really well said. And I definitely think there's going to be a mixed response, and part of it will be what you just said. Um and so in times like this people will look to faith and kind of question things about life, to ask those larger questions, um to seek spiritual guidance, things like that. So yeah, I'm hoping, man, but it is I think it's just like recognizing, maybe like it might feel like things have gotten worse, but it's the truth is like there's always been this evil in the world, and depending on who you are, where you live, you experience it in different ways or different moments, or like now that we have video of things taking place, it hits you in a different way. But in other countries, people suffering have never felt the sense of safety and security that we've felt, right, most of our lives. So we've really been in kind of a sheltered, um, I guess, really a sheltered environment most of our lives, thinking that like nothing terrible could happen to us or the people we know or love or whatever. And it's like with all these shootings and violence, it's just more reality that, wait a second, this does exist. This can happen to us. And we just I think you said a lot of good things there, and I don't want to say too much more because I would just be repeating a lot of the things that you said. But I think like one thing that's important, when thinking about all these things is we're gonna get anger, and some of it's righteous anger. Um, you know, we we all cry out for justice, and when we see injustice, we speak out, whether it's happening at the schools or across the world in another country with these wars or whatever it is. But I like think about, I have a scripture pulled up, um, from Romans that I think is really good in times like these, because a lot of people get so angry and social media is so toxic. And some people will even justify fighting violence with violence, but that is not at all
What Christ
the
said.
Bible teaches. That's not what Christ taught. That's not what, if you're a Christian, if you believe in the scripture, that is not at all what we believe. And so, um, I guess like in moments like these, whether it's what happened to Charlie Kirk or the school shootings or the wars, whatever it is, like this is a reminder of how broken the world really is. And the thing is, when we grieve as Christians, we don't grieve without hope. And so the scripture I have pulled up is Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. So I guess, as we're thinking about all this and people are arguing on social media or whatever it is, like we recognize that no matter where you stand, no matter what you think, evil should not be fought with evil, but should be overcome with good. And that's why Jesus was so radical, man. Like, love your neighbor, great. Love your enemy. I mean, it's just like, no one says that. Even today, like, people don't say that. They trash their enemies. If their enemies get shot, they celebrate it. It's just, so that's just a reminder, I guess, that within this anger, within this mourning loss, whether, it's the families of the students, or whatever it is, we don't grieve without hope, because we know one day justice will be served, all things will be restored. And we know that while we're here, we should not overcome evil with evil, but with good. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say on that. But crazy times, man. And I just pray that the Lord comes soon, because, yeah, things are crazy out here. So, on that, this has been an incredible season. Season one. Any final thoughts as we kind of wrap up this season? I mean, think about when we start. When did we start?
Like, I would say March.
Dude, and we got like 3 whole listeners. It's amazing.
3 whole listeners, bro. I mean, we've had a couple episodes do pretty decently. And I did see some people talking about like the content world in today's day and age, and that it's the hardest to get viewership on long form content. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come back next season, whenever next season starts. We're not entirely sure. Shouldn't be too long, but there will be another season. We will be back. And next season, we're going to post more, like, 10-minute clips of conversations that we have. We're going to post more clips on Instagram. There's going to be more short-term content that you can engage with. And then if you want to check out the whole episode and see the entire conversation, you're more than welcome to do so. But I do think that's part of the reason we haven't grown so much, is because we don't post enough short-term stuff. But yeah, like our first episode got 86 views. Cartoons got 72. A lot of episodes got 20. One of them only got 2 views. Who's the goat only got 2 views? That's crazy. I was
Which
one
one?
of them. Who's the goat? Only got 2 views, and I was one of them.
Oh, we don't have thumbnails on those ones. That's also
Yeah.
why.
And then LeBron done in LA got 50 views. So we're starting to figure it out a little bit. We're starting to figure it out, and we're up to 26 subscribers. We were stuck on 24 for a while there. So now we're up to 26. So we're climbing. We're getting there. Oh, I meant to. No, I don't want to view it. I meant to see when our first video was posted. Let's see. 7 months ago.
That's right.
So February.
Yeah, and that audio, man.
Terrible.
Well, maybe we'll redo that.
We're only getting better from here, guys.
We'll redo the first one. We'll get the transcripts and we'll reread everything back into the mics. What a time. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm excited. And Jacob, I will see you in Chicago.
Yep. It's gonna be a good time. Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 22, the end of season 1 of the Half Brothers podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to hit that like button, and we will see you soon.
And until next time, thank you. Have a nice day and keep smiling.